This is Joao Pedro in the Club World Cup final against PSG.
Oh, it's a clever pass. Joao Pedro 3-0. Dreamland for Chelsea.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We're ripping them apart.
A scoreline that's creating echoes around the world. Chelsea 3, Paris Saint-Germain 0. It's not even half time.
This is Joao Pedro again, scoring a brace against Fluminense in the semi-final.
Netta's cross, clean away. Joao Pedro! What a goal! Scores against his former club. Apologises to the fans of his former club behind that goal.
Also, this is Joao Pedro once again in Club World Cup.
Inside, and it's Joao Pedro for Chelsea. And it's 2-0.
Also, Joao Pedro opening his Premier League account against West Ham.
Conceded a couple of goals from headers at Sunderland and have conceded one here too. Joao Pedro has parity for Chelsea.
Now this is Joao Pedro in the Champions League 2026 against
From Joao Pedro! Palmer. That's a good ball up to Joao Pedro. Made the room for the shot brilliantly! What a way to equalise! Fantastic goal that from Joao Pedro!
This is Joao Pedro again, another goal against Napoli.
Enzo Fernandez up to Joao Pedro, had one Giorno at his back, good ball back to Joao Pedro, Garnacho's with him, might not need him, looks to go alone, and did brilliantly! Oh, what a performance in this second half from Joao Pedro!
Another good finish.
The Joao Pedro that the Premier League and the whole world saw at the FIFA Club World Cup has returned, and it's gonna get crazy and scary for everybody. Want more proof? Look at that thunderbolt from 25 yards out with his weaker left foot. Still don't believe me? See that ice-cold counterattack finish in the 82nd minute. What about turning games around? He came from behind to win 3-2 against Napoli. Still not convinced? He ended Antonio Conte's unbeaten record at the Diego Maradona Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, it's safe to say Club World Cup Joao Pedro is back. Welcome back, Chelsea fans. Drop your country in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, support the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you get quick updates whenever we drop a new video. Joao Pedro scored 2 sensational goals in the second half to turn the must-win Champions League game for Chelsea around. A brace that consisted of a powerful long-range shot with his weaker left foot and a sweet counterattack made sure Chelsea came from behind 2-1 to beat Napoli 3-2, ending Antonio Conte's Napoli unbeaten record at their home stadium, the legendary Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. Pedro's first goal of the game in the 61st minute reminded every Chelsea fan of his sensational goal against Fluminense in the Club World Cup semi-final. That same technique, that same power, that same precision. His second goal against Napoli in the 82nd minute was from a counterattack before he finished clinically. And this also resembles his second goal against Fluminense in the Club World Cup as well. The similarities are frightening. Joao Pedro has been in decent form recently, finally finding his goal-scoring touch again. He has now scored 4 goals in his last 4 games across all competitions. Scoring against Brentford.
Diogo, that's casual. Straight to Joao Pedro, who hammers it in. There's going to be a big cheer.
Scoring against Crystal Palace.
Cup, statistically the biggest ever shock in that competition. Joao Pedro, angle tight, it might not matter. Joao Pedro! What a start to the second half for Chelsea!
And now, a magnificent brace against Napoli in the Champions League. His 3rd and 4th Champions League goals of the season. Remember, he also scored against Atalanta earlier in the campaign.
Cross here, looking for Joao Pedro. It's a goal. Chelsea's first attack, and they've scored with it.
He really loves scoring against Serie A clubs. Napoli, Atalanta, it doesn't matter. If they're from Italy, Joao Pedro is finding the net. Here's a question for you. Is Joao Pedro now Chelsea's most important striker? Drop your answer in the comments below. But let's not forget, it hasn't been an easy season for Joao Pedro whatsoever. There was a difficult period where he wasn't scoring and was struggling badly in the middle of the season. He started his Chelsea career brilliantly with 3 goals in 3 matches at the FIFA Club World Cup in July 2025. He scored a brace against his boyhood club Fluminense in the semi-final, which must have been emotional for him. And he scored the final goal in the 3-0 victory over Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. Then in the Premier League, Pedro started well with 2 goals in his first few matches. He scored his first Premier League goal for Chelsea with a header from a corner against West Ham United in a 5-1 thrashing at the London Stadium in August. He also scored against Fulham on August 30th. 5 goals in his first 6 games across all competitions. Chelsea fans were absolutely buzzing, thinking they had found their long-term number 9 solution. But then came the nightmare drought. From September until the end of October, Joao Pedro went 9 consecutive games without scoring a single goal. 9 games. That's 2 full months without finding the net. His last goal before the drought was against Fulham on August 30th, and he didn't score again until November 1st against Tottenham.
Van der Ven, Caicedo went through him, big chance for Joao Pedro, and Chelsea have the lead. On a ground where they've caused Spurs so much previous pain.
During this barren spell, Pedro took just 2 shots in 6 Premier League fixtures. 2 shots in 6 games. That's absolutely shocking for a striker at this level. The worrying stats behind his drought were even more concerning. He only had 2 shots on target across those 9 matches. His involvement in the final third dropped dramatically. His confidence looked shot. Enzo Maresca revealed that Pedro was not training every day because he was managing an injury problem, which explained some of the struggles, playing through pain and trying to make an effort for the team, but clearly not at full fitness. Pedro's heat map during that period showed he was dropping too deep, operating where a number 10 would usually play, rather than staying in and around the penalty box, where strikers need to be. The absence of Cole Palmer through injury had forced Pedro to drop deeper, to pick up the ball and create, rather than allowing him to lurk and drive into space as a natural striker should. He was essentially playing out of position because Chelsea's creative hub was missing. Here's another question for you. Do you think Joao Pedro's drought was more about injuries or about tactical problems? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The turning point came against Tottenham on November 1st. Joao Pedro ended his 10-game goal drought by scoring the winner in Chelsea's 1-0 victory at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That goal was absolutely crucial psychologically. Moises Caicedo stole the ball from Mickey van de Ven on the edge of the Spurs penalty box and squared for Pedro, who chipped the ball home confidently from 8 meters out in the 34th minute. The relief on his face was visible. That goal broke the mental barrier that had been holding him back. Since then, Pedro has been a completely different player. More confident, more aggressive, more clinical. He's getting into better positions inside the box. He's taking more shots. His movement off the ball has improved dramatically. And most importantly, he's scoring crucial goals when Chelsea need them most. The 4 goals in his last 4 games show he's found his rhythm again. Against Napoli, Pedro's performance was world-class from start to finish. His first goal in the 61st minute brought Chelsea level at 2-2. Receiving the ball 25 yards out with his back to goal, he spun away from his defender, shifted onto his left foot, and absolutely thundered an unstoppable shot past Alex Moret into the top corner. The Napoli goalkeeper didn't even move. It was that good. That goal completely changed the momentum of the match and gave Chelsea belief they could win. His second goal in the 82nd minute was clinical counter-attacking football at its finest. Cole Palmer, who had come on at halftime and changed the game, played Pedro through with a perfect pass. One-on-one with the keeper, Pedro showed incredible composure to pick out the far corner with his right foot. Ice cold. That's the mark of a top striker. When the big moment arrives, you deliver without hesitation. Joao Pedro now has 14 goals in all competitions for Chelsea in his first season. 3 in Club World Cup, 8 in the Premier League, and 3 Champions League. Those are excellent numbers for someone who went through a 2-month drought and struggled with injuries. Imagine what his stats will look like when he stays fit for an entire season and plays with confidence from start to finish. What makes Pedro so dangerous is his complete striking game. He's physically strong and can hold up the ball under pressure. He's good in the air, winning headers, and scoring from crosses and corners. He can finish with both feet, making him unpredictable for defenders. His movement inside the box is intelligent, finding space between defenders, and he's technically gifted enough to drop deep and link play when needed. The scary truth that nobody saw coming is how quickly Pedro has turned his season around. 2 months ago, people were questioning whether he was good enough for Chelsea. Fans were frustrated. Pundits were doubting. The pressure was building. Now, he's scoring crucial goals in big matches, leading the line with confidence, and looking like the striker Chelsea desperately needed. The version of Joao Pedro that EPL clubs feared has finally arrived at Stamford Bridge. The player who terrorized defenses at Brighton with his movement and finishing. The player who scored 3 goals in 3 matches to win the Club World Cup. That player's back, and it's terrifying for defenders across Europe. So, Chelsea fans, final question for you. How many goals will Joao Pedro score by the end of this season? 20, 25, 30? Drop your prediction in the comments, like the video, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep the blue flag flying high.